Knipex mini plier wrench versus Knipex Cobra. Which one are you picking? Whose corner are you standing in? Are you gonna pick the mighty Cobras, or are you gonna pick the nimble plier wrench? Take your pick, place your bets, and hold on to your butts because we're going on a wild ride. Hello everybody, today I wanted to talk about Knipex pliers. I got the 86-100, I've heard they call these the plier wrench. XS mini plier wrench I think is what they call these little guys. And I have got the Knipex Cobras. These are the mini Knipex Cobras 87-100. And we've got these guys side by side. And we are looking at these for people who they're looking to get these Knipex Cobras for EDC, or maybe you just want to throw it in your toolbox and you can't decide which one of these pliers you want to get. I started carrying these for EDC maybe a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago. And this and a good old-fashioned Swiss Army knife has replaced my SOG power pint. I started using the Tinker. This isn't the Tinker, but I started using the Tinker and the Knipex, and I found that I had more capability and more versatility than I did with the SOG power pint. I had better tools and better pliers. Now, if you want to go check out that video, I guess I'll link it in the description, and you can check out my video on the Knipex and the Swiss Army knife and talk about that and the power pint. But so that's what I started doing, and then I got this little guy, and this is a plier sheath for the Knipexes, and they go in here like this, and you basically get all your Swiss Army knife tools. You get the pin, the needle, no blade, but you get a driver, and you get 5 bits of storage with the driver, and then you get the tweezer toothpick and a pocket clip. And then you get the Swiss card scissors go in right here. So you kind of get, I just kicked the camera. So you kind of get all the Swiss Army knife additions and tools that you would have, all the little perks and stuff, at least a few of them. You get the good pliers, and you get it in a nice little package. You put your pocket clip on there, put it in your pocket, and you get really good plying and driving capabilities. And I've been using this more recently, the past couple weeks, and so far I really like it. Anyway, so that led me to want to check these out somehow or another. I've seen these, and I was like, maybe these will be better for my needs, and so I will get these, and I will really try them out and see how I like them. And today I am ready to talk about these two sets of pliers and which one I think you should get and which one I am going to be carrying more often for me personally. So let's run these down really quick. These plier heads open up pretty wide, so these are about the same size. They're both, I think they're 4 inches. Yeah, they're both 4 inches, and I think I don't know what they weigh. I don't know how important weight is for a set of mini pliers for people, but somebody might care. So we've got ounces, 2.4 ounces on the mini wrench pliers, and 2.1 ounces on the Cobras. So 2.1, 2.4. I thought these felt a little heavier. I honestly thought it was going to be a bigger difference than that, but pretty close in weight. Pretty close in weight for those who care. So with these pliers, you get this little, well, this one doesn't have a button like the big ones. All you do is open it up, and you can slide this jaw back and forth. To go down, you gotta open it, and then to go back up, you can pretty much just go back up in any position. And it opens up pretty far. So for a little set of pliers, I guess we'll zoom in a little bit here. So for a little set of pliers with a small handle, you get a really big jaw length here. And I've been carrying these for a long time, and you actually get quite a bit of leverage with this thing. Things that I wasn't able to do with my bare hands, I was able to grab onto with these and leverage whatever it was, open or move it. And I was able to do that with just the little bit of leverage that you get from these pliers. So I really like them for that. These are super handy. And open, you're just a little over 2 inches here, like 2 1/8. So you can grab onto some pretty big items with this. Now, this isn't specifically designed for bolt heads. At least I don't think. I think that's kind of what this one is designed for, nuts and bolts and stuff. But this will grab onto them, and it'll hold on to them. And, you know, sometimes if it doesn't grab correctly and you spin that bolt, it can round off your corners of your bolt and kind of destroy the nut or bolt or whatever. And that's not good. So usually after a try or 2 or 3, and I realize that this isn't going to do the job, then I go find a wrench or something. But more often than not, this does work for me. If it's really tight and rusted and stuff, it might not. But most of the time, this does the job I need it to do, and I'm not destroying things. And that's kind of why I bought these. I wanted to check these out and see how it worked. I thought maybe I would encounter more bolt heads and nuts, and so that would make this thing more useful than this. So that being said, this does do that, just not designed for it. But you get this jimping, this knurling here, and this shape here, and this grabs onto stuff very, very, very good. And they're nice and thin. They're not super thick, so you've got almost like a needle nose kind of tip here. Not as extreme. Well, some needle noses aren't that fine even. But this will grab onto something round very, very good. If you watch that video I just told you to check out on the Tinker and the Knipex, and you go towards the end, you see a demonstration with these pliers where I'm grabbing onto something round, and it grabs onto them so good. I'll just do a quick example. So good that you put downward force on here, I can get it to do it. Maybe on this piece of wood. It might not be a good example because it's a piece of wood, because it's soft. Yeah, it's not going to work, but I'll show you. So you can grab onto something round, like let's say this is a round pipe or whatever it is, a metal tube. This will grab onto this thing so good, I could literally stand on the top of these and not be touching these pliers anywhere else, and this would be grabbing on so good that it would not let go. You can put a ton of force on a object because these jaws, what they're doing, I don't know exactly what they're doing, but once you get them in the right spot and you put the pressure on there, they do not let go. They hold on very, very tight without you squeezing the handles together, if that makes sense. So really, really good, and really good at just grabbing things and forcing things and holding things. And I really like these, and I don't think I can go a day without bringing these with me anywhere anymore. Around the house and at work, these are definitely always with me. And then so that brings us to these. I'm finding out, well, let's do the rundown on this guy really quick. So they're basically the same exact design as far as like aesthetics go. This one does the same little slidey trick, but for the jaw it has this little mechanism. Okay. And so what you get is you just get a flat jaw, like a wrench. That's why they call it a plier wrench. No knurling, no jimping, no nothing. Goes out to a decently, fine tip. But look how less this opens up compared to that. That is a huge difference. That's almost like twice the amount as the cobras here. Get this guy open all the way. So it opens about an inch, just a little bit less than an inch, around an inch. So right off the bat, you're getting a lot less, I don't even know what the word is that you would use for that, open mouth. You're getting a lot less open mouth with these tools. And another thing I'm finding out is these, for me, and the things I encounter, is kind of a one-trick pony. This thing, all I'm able to really do with this is just grab onto bolt heads and nuts. All of the little things that I want to use and grab onto with these, that I usually use with these, this does not do it as good. You just got these two flat, smooth surfaces. You want to grab onto something. It doesn't open as wide. You grab onto something, and you just don't got the grip and the ability that I do with these. So what I'm trying to say and trying to communicate here is this is like a one-trick pony, just grabbing bolt heads and nuts. And this will grab onto nuts and bolts, even though not specifically designed for it, can do it most of the time in a pinch. But this is way better at grabbing other stuff. You've got just that design that grabs onto and digs into and just grabs. Way better than those. So I mean, if you're just specifically carrying something for bolt heads and nuts, then, maybe these would be the good choice for you. And, this is a good tool for me to have in my toolbox, I believe. Something to have in your car and a little toolbox, because sometimes you can't get something with, big handles into a certain area. So these are still going to be very handy. They're still going to go in my toolbox, and they're still probably going to, when you need them, you're going to be really glad that you had them, for sure, just as with these. But for those really small, tight spots that you can't get enough leverage to turn something or grab onto something, these are amazing, and they do so much more than just the nut heads and the nuts and bolt heads that this thing does. So I just wanted to throw a video out there. I don't know if there's a lot of people that are interested in these two guys, but with my experience and the things I do at work and on a day-to-day basis, these are the clear winner, just because they're capable of so much more than the plier wrenches. And I worked in a tire shop for about 10 years, multiple tire shops. I've done a lot of mechanic work, and I have a lot of nice tools. And Knipex are some of my favorite pliers of all times. I love Knipex. They're so good. And so just being in the automotive industry myself and working on vehicles, and as a property owner and a DIY guy, these are going to be more handy for me and in my pocket way more than those. So that being said, I'll link both of these down in the bottom, and you can right now on Amazon get both of these together. You can get them together in a package, I think for 80 or 90 bucks, at least the last time I checked. So I'll link those down below. I'll try to link them separately as well. So I just wanted to throw my 2 cents out there. For me, the Cobras are king until something else comes along. I love these things. They're the best. These are good. These are okay. But 9 times out of 10, I'm going to grab these, and 9 times out of 10, these are going to be better for what I need it for, because I use these for a lot of other things too. So if I had to carry one of these and just pick one, I'm going to carry that. I'm not going to carry both of them on my EDC. That's just, I don't know. Maybe if this sheath could fit both of them, I don't know. But Cobras are king. So I don't know. Leave your comments down below, guys. The plier wrench, mini plier wrench, or the Knipex Cobras. Which one is the winner for you guys? Leave your comments down below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.